Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending July 27th, 2022. Just in a span of a week, we're seeing lots of changes out there. We've seen an uptick in showings, an uptick in offers. We're seeing buyers getting more enthusiastic about going into showings. We're seeing more showings on properties. It just feels like in 1 week things have changed. I'll tell you what we're seeing though that's also very important. The whole idea of panic selling. We've spoken a lot about this in previous videos. Panic selling was sellers that absolutely had to sell. In most cases, they bought first. So they bought their house, were thinking that prices were going to go up, and then they put their home on the market because they have to sell in order to close on their purchase, and things weren't working out so well on the sale side, and so they panic and they drop price quickly and they're selling lower than they ever thought. Panic selling. List price, drop, got to get it sold, absolutely have to sell. Well, a lot of those panic sellers have kind of gone through the system now, so to speak, and the sellers in most cases that are on the market now are more realistic in their price, and they're pricing it based on current numbers. They're not delusional about where prices were January, February. They know that, in most cases I'm saying, they know that those prices have come and gone. We're dealing with now prices, today prices, prices in July, prices in August. That's what we're dealing with right now. We're seeing that from the listing appointments we're going on. Sellers get it. We're also seeing buyers getting it, that whatever that price is it realistic or is it high? And on some properties are selling right at asking price or really close. Others, well, they're not priced exactly how they should be right now. So we're seeing that change. Sellers are getting where prices should be, and they're selling first for the most part. They're selling first, meaning they want to sell, but they don't have a gun to their head that they absolutely have to sell. They are selling if it makes sense for them, if the price makes sense for them, and then they'll buy later. So they're selling first. And when you're in that position, you don't have to drop your prices real quick, assuming that it's priced correctly to begin with. So that's a big change in the market right now. Sellers are more realistic in their pricing. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure I'm available so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. And if you ever wanted to live in an upscale gated community that backs onto one of the top golf courses in Canada, check out the video at the end of this video. Let's get going. I've got York Region. I'm going to be speaking about Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham, detached properties, and then condos for all of York Region. I have here, starting with Vaughan, again, this is just for detached properties by week for a whole year. So last week ending July 27th, 24 detached properties were sold across Vaughan. Only 24. Sales are low. What can I say? Part of the problem with low sales is the fluctuation in pricing. You get a few luxury properties being sold and average price goes up. A few luxury properties don't sell the next week and average price comes way down. So that's just something we got to keep in mind. Well, we sold 24 detached properties, same as the previous week. 8 of those were at $2 million or more. The previous week, only 3 properties were sold at $2 million or more. So we've got 8 this week. Well, you can imagine what happens to average sold price. It shot way up. It's at $1,832,000, which is 13% higher than last year's average sold price. Median price is 17% higher than last year's median price. And if you look back to 3 months ago, you could see that median price haven't changed much. However, if we exclude this current week that we had 8 properties at $2 million or more and only 24 sales, median price of $1,850 3 months ago and median price today of $1,545,000, there's a big difference. I would imagine over the next week prices will come back down again. Well, average sold prices. So of the 24 that sold, 21% sold at list price or more. Year-to-date sales, January 1st to July 27th, and this is just for Vaughan detached properties, we have 41% fewer sales this year than what we were selling last year. And listings are 14% fewer listings this year than what we were selling last year, year-to-date. We listed 51 detached properties in Vaughan last week for week ending July 27th. The blue, those are last year's listings. The orange, that's this year. And if you just focus on the orange, it's coming down. The blue was also coming down. Normally, July and August are our lower months for listings. Things are normally a lot calmer. They are eerily calm this year. Months of inventory came down a little bit. It's now sitting at 3.2 months of inventory. Average days on market is 17. It's come down quite a bit. We were in the 20s for 3 weeks, and this 1 week, the last week, we're now at 17 for average days on market. Let's look at Richmond Hill. Only 14 detached properties were sold in Richmond Hill. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. So the luxury properties have the opposite effect in Richmond Hill than they had in Vaughan, where the previous week we sold 6 at $2 million or more. This week ending, we sold only 2. Average sold price has come down. It's now at $1,680,000, which is 13% lower than last year's average sold price. Median price is 1.4% lower than last year's median price. Of the 14 that sold, 14%, not a lot, sold at list price or more. Sales year to date, we have 39% fewer sales this year than what we were selling last year, year to date. And listings, 19% fewer listings year to date versus last year's year to date. And months of inventory is now sitting at 4 months of inventory. It's come down a little bit. Average days on market has gone the other way from the previous weeks. It's now sitting at 25 as the average days on market. Now this is listings days on market. Property days on market would be even higher than that. Markham, 18 detached properties were sold in Markham. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price has come way down from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,590,000, which is 10% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago, and median price is 8% lower than where the median price was a year ago. If we just take a step back and we go back 3 months, median price for Markham detached was $1.8 million. It's now $1,525,000. Big difference in 3 months. 18 detached properties were sold. Close to half, however, 44%, were sold at list price or more. Year-to-date sales, we have 49% fewer sales this year. 49%, that's like half basically of what we were selling last year. So 49% fewer sales in Markham year-to-date. 26% fewer listings in Markham year-to-date. And again, this is just for detached properties. And months of inventory came down quite a bit. It's now sitting at 2.6 months of inventory. Now, I'm just going to repeat, when you have such few sales, the fluctuations in average sold price and in median price is going to be there. We need a larger sample to get a more accurate price. So use this as a guide, these numbers. Don't base your home's new value on these numbers, but just generally understand what's happening with the market as a whole. Let's look at condos. Now, this is for all of York Region. 23 condos were sold in York Region. Sales has been coming down quite a bit. We were at some point, it seems like ancient history now, in the 80s. Now 23 condos were sold. None of those hit $1 million mark or more. Oh, sorry, let me get back here. Average sold price has been coming down. It's now sitting at $643,000 for the average condo sold in York Region for week ending July 27th. Well, $643,000 is 1% lower than last year's average sold price, and lower than last year's for condos. It is a new thing. For detached properties, we've had several weeks where average sold price is lower, but for condos, we've generally been higher than last year's price. 1% lower is something to really keep an eye on. Median price is 0.2% higher than last year's median price, so it's basically the same. 3 months ago, median price was $733. We're now at $623,000 for the median price for condos. Of the 23 that sold, 22% sold at list price or more. Year-to-date sales, we have 30% fewer condo sales this year than what we were selling last year, year-to-date, and 7% more listings this year than what we were listing last year. And months of inventory has come down. It's now sitting at 3.7 months of inventory. And the average days on market is 3 weeks, 21 days. Here's a quick summary. Now, across the board, months of inventory has come down. And I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video, we've seen an uptick. We've seen a little bit more enthusiasm out there. I don't know if that's a trend. I know lots of you are commenting. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. But, you know, all I'm doing is reporting what we're seeing. Whether it continues, we'll report on that also. Maybe it's just like a blip in the screen and then it's gone again. Or maybe it's something that's continuing. Maybe buyers are kind of getting used to the new rates and the new prices. And we know sellers are being more realistic. So maybe things are changing out there. It's not, it wouldn't be, you know, the craziest things that have happened. That's the report for York Region. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Here's your chance to be one of the fortunate ones and live at this exclusive and upscale gated community at the Beacon Hall Golf Club in Aurora. Now, the Beacon Hall Golf Club, if you love golf, you'll probably know it ranks amongst the best in Canada. The home I'm introducing you to, 650 Brush Grove, backs onto the 7th fairway. Come, let me show you the inside. Oh, by the way, this garage, that fits 2 cars. This part of the garage, that's for your golf cart. Come on in. To say that this home has been fully modernized and renovated would be an understatement. Everything you see is new, even what you don't see. New electrical, new plumbing, new mechanicals. I would even say the home now is better than new. Why don't we start with this massive living room with over 10-foot ceilings? Here's one of my favorite rooms, the principal bedroom. Have a look. And just behind these pocket doors, your own Hollywood-style dressing room.